Dr. Sanjay Jha, Congress leader. And Sanjay Jha, Akbar, not so great after all. Akbar, we all read about, he was a Mughal leader, expansionism was their only agenda. But today, we want to know, why was he called the Great? Because expansionism, killing of Indians to expand their own kingdom, the Mughal Sultanate as it was called in India, clearly was an expansionist regime, and there were innocent Indians that were killed. Why was an adjective, the Great, written with the Akbar in the textbooks of your, of course, Congress, deciding that route that the country took? Why is it not more realistic to look at the NCERT books today, which has the brighter side of Akbar that is listed there, the fact that he did encourage culture of India, had interest in Indian classical music, but it also paints out the picture of what he was, a raider, a man who plundered, a man who destroyed temples, just like Babur and Humayun before him. So I want to ask you, if the right version of history is today finding its way, why is the Congress so upset?
Navika, good evening to you and to my very eminent fellow panelists. A couple of short points to answer your question. I think it is a very important debate to have because I remember George Orwell's famous quote that those who control the present control the past, and those who control the past control the future. And that was a chilling statement from the man who wrote 1984 and warning societies of authoritarianism and thereafter fascism. And when you talk about changing textbooks, it's basically a fascist project. Now, I'm not going to, however, completely condemn the attempt by certain historians, clearly right-leaning, to look at history from a different perspective. Traditionally, as a student of history, I can tell you that while there is one history, different ideological thoughts interpret that according to their own mutual convenience. Both parties, in my opinion, are probably guilty. One for probably overplaying the successful art, culture, and the traditions of music, etc. And the other who are only looking at the horrific acts that were perpetrated, which also cannot be denied. Now, here is the truth. The truth is that the reason why these conversations are becoming very acerbic and in a great number of ways very polarizing is because of the current political environment that you have in our country. And I'll give you three short examples, and then I would love to hear what my good friend Sudhanshu ji has to say. Number one, in the political science book of the NCERT, there is a blatant attempt made, and I have read these reports very carefully, to dilute the opposition of Gandhiji to what he saw then as the rising threat of Hindutva extremism. This was Gandhiji's fears, and these have either been diluted or edited from the political science books. I would like Sudhanshu ji at some point when I'm done in 30 seconds to tell me why would you do that? Secondly, the ideological predilections or the passions of Mr. Nathuram Godse, the assassin of Gandhiji, has been obliterated. There's not even much conversation on it. Why is that happening, Sudhanshu ji? Sudhanshu ji, my third question to you. The Taj Mahal attracts 6 million tourists in India. I mean, the footfalls may have gone up since I saw the data the last time. You have members of your own party, by the way, who actually say that this was a construct of traitors. I know you'll find some way to even justify this. But you have even had people from the right wing, which are part of your Sangh Parivar, say that this was wrongfully made on a Hindu temple, which the archaeological survey has rebuked. So why are you in this game of spreading false narratives, Sudhanshu ji? This is a matter of concern. And I'm not getting into the fact that you and I are from opposing camps. It is about misleading future generations that we should worry about. There's also been an attempt to not talk about
the selectivity so evident, Sanjay Jha, because I asked you the questions on why Akbar was the great as painted by the Congress regime. Your response was on Godse. Your response was completely different.
I answered.
And the selectivity is exactly is exactly what we are trying to address. And may I tell you, when you talk about Shah Jahan and Taj Mahal, in the NCRT books, which is the topic of debate today, Taj Mahal and its the world-renowned architecture that was displayed by Shah Jahan has been said as such without any reference to a temple which is supposed to be present but not scientifically proven yet. No reference to that. Maybe you could give kudos to the NCRT book writers and the government for not falling prey to an agenda and sticking to the facts. But Sudhanshu Trivedi, facts dikhte kahan hain? They can't see the facts. They only display selectivity. Isn't it right?
I would like to quote Nobel laureate V.S. Naipaul has written a book, India, a Wounded Civilization, in which he has categorically said that India is the only country in the world which authorizes others to write their own history, which doesn't consider itself history of its as authentic, history of invaders as authentic. Can you show, Mr. Sanjay Jha, any British man who says that the Britisher who has written the British history is not authentic, it is the French who will decide? Can you tell a Frenchman who can say the Germans will decide that what French history was there? On the contrary, in India, we are the only country which says कि साहब जो foreigners ने लिखा, चलिए foreigners में there are n number of foreigners who has written a very elaborate description about India's positive things. Megasthenes in his Indica, that 4th century before Christ, he has mentioned कि India में there are 7 groups of people. There is no discrimination like the society of Greece. That should not be mentioned. 3 Chinese आए, Faiyan, Websong, Itzing. पॉजिटिव लिखा नहीं दिखाना है, मार्को पोलो नहीं दिखाना है, रशियन राइटर निकितिन नहीं बताना है, इटालियन आया नहीं बताना है, विजयनगर एम्पायर के बारे में मनुची ने लिखा नहीं बताना है, किसका बताना है? अंग्रेज और मुगल. We were teaching the history of looters and plunderers. This is the agony of the situation. And V.S. Naipaul has also written a very significant thing. कि दुनिया में कहीं भी लड़ाई होती है 2 राजाओं के बीच में, हारे जीते चाहे कोई, उन देश उनमें से किसी एक कोई महान मानता है. उसने कहा ये बहुत आश्चर्य की बात है. इन इंडिया अकबर इज ग्रेट इन ऑफिशियल गवर्नमेंट डॉक्यूमेंट्स एंड महाराणा प्रताप इज ग्रेट एमंग द पीपल. ये दोनों एक साथ ग्रेट कैसे हो गए? ये सिर्फ इंडिया में ही हो सकता है. आई एम कोटिंग अ नोबल लॉरेट एंड श्री संजय झा, यू हैव यूज्ड अ वर्ड in the present politically polarizing atmosphere. It means you are considering that in today's India, some people are connecting themselves with the foreign invaders whose origin from Uzbek and Mongols. Babur's father was Uzbek and mother was Mongol. It means in the present political dispensation, there are people who are getting enraged, who are getting polarized, who are getting offended. Just 80 years back, what happened in Germany, if the Nazi film is made, anything about Nazis is said, none of the German feels offended. But why a section feels offended? On the authenticity, I would like to quote a single thing. अकबर के बारे में खुद आईने अकबरी में अबुल फजल ने लिखा है, और चित्तौड़ जीतने के बाद in 1576, in the official order of the Akbar, I am not quoting the book, it is like the government order today. You see that government order dated so and so. Akbar in Fatehnaमा Chittor says कि 30,000 लोगों को, सर कान खोल के सुनिएगा, 30,000 काफिरों के सर की मीनार बना के उस पे खड़े होके गाजी की उपाधि ली है. एंड द सेम थिंग वाज मेंशन्ड बाय आईने अकबरी, जिसके के आधार के ऊपर अकबर को ग्रेट भी बताया जाता है. पूरा फैक्ट क्यों नहीं बताया जाता? अगेन आई एम कोटिंग सर कर्नल जेम्स टॉड, हु हैज रिटन द बुक एनल्स एंड एंटिक्विटीज ऑफ राजस्थान. उसमें उसने लिखा है कि अकबर ने उस दिन आधा मन जनेऊ उतरवाया, 2980 kg ऑफ जनेऊ फ्रॉम ऑल द हिंदूज, दे वर मैसेकर्ड. फिर अकबर खुद लिखता है कि अलाउद्दीन खिलजी के चित्तौड़ इन्वेजन के बाद भी जो जैन और हिंदू मंदिर बच गए थे उनको भी डिस्ट्रॉय कर दिया गया है. कितनी बड़ी मैंने खिदमत की है, बट दैट इज कंसीडर्ड ग्रेट. तो सर इसीलिए मुझे याद आता है अटल जी की कविता की वो पंक्ति कि मैं वीर पुत्र मेरी जननी के जगती में जौहर अपार, पूछो अकबर के पुत्रों से का याद उन्हें मीना बाजार। उस अकबर और जोधा की स्टोरी ये सुनाते हैं जिसके हरम में हजारों औरतें थी, जो मीना बाजार में बाजार लगाता था। जिस औरत की तरफ आंख कर दिया वो उसकी हो गई, नहीं तो उसके लोगों को मरवा दिया जाता था। तो उन्होंने कहा पूछो अकबर के पुत्रों से क्या याद उन्हें मीना बाजार, क्या याद उन्हें चित्तौड़ दुर्ग में जलने वाली आग प्रखर, जब हाय सहस्त्रों माताएं तिल तिल जलकर हो गई अमर। वो बुझने वाली आग नहीं, रग रग में इसे सजोए हूं, यदि फूट उठे विप्लव लेकर कभी आग तो क्या विस्मय। हिंदू तन मन हिंदू जीवन, रग रग हिंदू मेरा परिचय। सर इसीलिए मैं कहना चाहता हूं, अगेन आई वुड लाइक टू कोट वन मोर थिंग। एनसीईआरटी में हम सब ने पढ़ा है नाविका जी कि कुतुबुद्दीन ऐबक ने कुतुब मीनार बनवाई। अब प्रोफेसर फ्रॉम चंडीगढ़ यूनिवर्सिटी हैज लॉस्ट एन आरटीआई इनकी गवर्नमेंट के समय में कि व्हाट इज द बेसिस ऑन विच एनसीईआरटी हैज रिटन, व्हाट इज द प्राइमरी प्रूफ। देयर ऑफिशियल रिप्लाईज दे आर हैविंग नो प्रूफ, इट इज जस्ट ए बिलीव कि कुतुब मीनार कुतुबुद्दीन ऐबक ने बनवाई। सर अपने यहां तो बांस की मीनार नहीं बना पाए, यहां कुतुब मीनार बनवा दी। ऑन ताजमहल आई वुड लाइक टू से, झा साहब आप तो बड़े समझदार हैं, जो भी ताजमहल देखने गए होंगे उनको गाइड ने बताया होगा सच आर्किटेक्चर एक्सीलेंस, ये नदी के किनारे है, अगर कभी जमुना में बाढ़ आ गई तो क्या होगा, ये डूब जाएगा। पर उससे डूबने से बचने के लिए उसका जो बेस है उसमें एबोनी वुड लगी है। एबोनी वुड की वजह से वो डूबेगा नहीं, वो प्लेटफॉर्म के रूप में तैरता रहेगा। एंड द एबोनी वुड इज द ओनली वुड विच आफ्टर एब्सॉर्बिंग दी वाटर इट बिकम्स मोर स्ट्रांग। पर आपको पता है एबोनी वुड कहां पाई जाती है? सिर्फ ट्रॉपिकल रीजन में, एरिड रीजन में। एनीबडी कैन गो एंड चेक। भाई यार रेगिस्तान में एबोनी वुड कहां से आई? जहां एक बूंद पानी नहीं बरसता था वहां बाढ़ से बचने की टेक्नोलॉजी पता थी। सर फाइनली मैं कहना चाहूंगा द ब्रिटिश कॉलोनियल हैंगओवर इज ग्रेजुअली गोइंग आउट डिकेड बाय डिकेड। ब्रिटिश वाइसरॉय remained as Governor General till 1948. British Army Chief remained in India's Army Chief till 49. British Air Force Chief Gerard Gibbs remained till 54. British Navy Chief remained till 58. Stephen Carlisle. George V की मूर्ति रही 68 तक, 77 तक all India services in English, 97 तक इंडिया का जो बजट आता था till 5 PM in the morning because as per the London time it was 11:30. Now, gradually the things are going on in the true explicit colors with a proper concrete evidence. तो इसे मैं कहना चाहता हूं डेमोक्रेसी इंटेलेक्चुअल इस्टेब्लिशमेंट में आ रही है, विच इज हर्टनिंग द फ्यूडलिस्टिक हेगेमोनी विच दे वर ट्राइंग टू पुट फोर्थ, जिसे सुषमा स्वराज जी ने कहा था 1996 में 13 दिन की सरकार के समय में कि लुटियंस जोन में आप तब तक इंटेलेक्चुअल नहीं माने जा सकते जब तक आप अपने भारतीय होने पे इंफीरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स और हिंदू होने पे शर्म का अनुभव ना करें। अब वो शर्म का अनुभव की जो कवर अप था वो नाउ इट इज बीन रिमूव्ड। दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम।